Yes, Louis. Yes.
Job is mine.
Yeah. Yep.
Mic check 1 2.
Yeah. Yep. Louis.
Mic check
Check
1
1
2.
2. Yeah. Yep. Louis.
Mic check
Check
1
1
2.
2. Yeah. Yep. Louis.
Mic check
Check
1
1
2.
2.
Mic check 1 2.
Yeah. Let's go for box. Remote. None of the above. Yes, I'll take that one. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. I'm good. We've done the most for today's live stream, so I hope guys appreciate it. Number one, that we have taken extra effort to make sure the live stream is on point today. We actually going to have an accompaniment. So for the guys that aren't able to catch us on Instagram or TikTok, we are live on YouTube and it is officially public. So you can tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad to come watch us live. Come learn something, tell a friend, and who knows, we might actually have a few special offers. So if you're interested, by all means, come through. Uh, it's been interesting. Like first and foremost, it was my birthday earlier this week. Actually, that was last week. It was my after you guys forgot. My birthday was on a Tuesday, and mm, okay. Mm-hmm. Jitete. I did. I mean, honestly, to do a documentary, that one is in the works. That one is in the works. When I'm done, making sure the ingredients are on point, then I'll announce it. But I can't say it is centered around nature because animals are our first priority, or should be our first priority. I have a soft spot for animals, so priority goes to them. Yeah. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So, I mean, first and foremost, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, first of all, is Tamron lenses as a whole. So, for the guys who are joining us on TikTok and Instagram, I'm sure you're able to see. Sorry, I'm just checking the sound. Oh yeah, the sound on YouTube is crispy. So yeah, back to us. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Tamron lenses and why they stand out, why we sell Tamron lenses in the first place, why a lot of people, professionals alike, also tend to get Tamron lenses. Now, it goes much deeper and much further than a lot of people realize. And for the most part, yes, first party lenses are good, but that's it. First party lenses have their benefits. Some people say they're sharper, some people say that they're better, but we look at it from this. But here at Cameras Africa, we look at it from the point of view of when you are a photographer and you're starting out your photography journey, what exactly do you need? And when it comes down to the nitty gritty, I promise you 100% of the time, whether you're shooting with a Tamron lens, whether you're shooting with a Sigma lens, or whether you're shooting with a first party lens, I promise you there is no difference in sharpness. And for those of you that say, oh, but autofocus is faster on first party lenses, I am here to prove you wrong today and to tell you how you can actually get the most out of your Tamron lenses and even to tweak your Tamron lenses as to get performance that's as the same as first party lenses. So if we move to our first slide, the first thing that I would like to talk about is affordability. That is the major selling point for Tamron. And I think that's something that a lot of people take for granted. Lenses are not cheap in any shape or form. Louis, unaweza search kwa the presentation. Mkono kusoma. So affordability is something that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to lenses, but it is something that a lot of people push into the back of their heads. And the reality of the situation is when it comes to Tamron, one of the key factors that sets Tamron lenses apart is the competitive pricing. While they offer high quality optics, their lenses are generally more affordable than many OEM or original equipment manufacturer lenses, such as those from Canon or Nikon. And a good example of this is if you take the Sony 70-200 f2.8 G Master 1, not even the G Master 2. If you look at that lens and you look at the Tamron equivalent, the Sony 70-200 f2.8 G Master actually retails for 277,000 shillings. Whereas if you were to opt for the person next door, which is the Tamron 70 to 200, the one I have right here in the middle. The Tamron 70 to 200 f2.8 lens retails for 120,000. That is an entire 77,000 shilling difference. And that is not a little money. I kid you not, for that 77K, you could add extra accessories, you could add a whole prime lens in between the difference that it would take for you to buy a first party 70 to 200 and a Tamron 70 to 200. And another thing about Tamron lenses being more affordable is that that's because Tamron operates as a third-party lens manufacturer, allowing them to keep their costs lower while still delivering excellent optical performance. Another thing is that Tamron lenses typically provide more value in terms of features and performance for the price. Particularly in the mid-range market, the pricing strategy that Tamron uses allows enthusiasts and semi-professionals to access high-quality lenses without needing to invest in a premium brand. Sorry about that. And that is something that I think a lot of people take for granted. When you buy a Tamron lens, when you buy a third party lens, there's always this preconception that you're losing out on something or that you're losing out in terms of quality and performance. But with Tamron, that is not the case. Now, I'm not here to bash any other company or any other camera brand out there that makes lenses, but when it comes to matching the quality of a first party camera, take, for example, trying to match the quality of a Sony 7200 and a Tamron 7200, you can match up the quality, sharpness, and speed. However, you cannot say the same for a Samyang lens or for a Yongnuo lens. Also, third-party manufacturers, but they are known to have certain defects when it comes to matching it up to speed, quality, sharpness, and clarity. So that is another major point that Tamron has over. Um, sorry, let's check one thing. So that is another advantage that Tamron has over other third-party manufacturers, and that is that with Tamron, yes, the item is cheaper, the lens is cheaper, but they don't cheap out on building materials, they don't cheap out on the quality of the glass, and they don't cheap out on the quality of the lens. So unlike whereas you might buy a lens, let's say from Samyang or Yongnuo, and the durability factor, the sharpness factor, the speed factor is compromised with Tamron lenses, you're not losing out on any of these features. Next up is innovative technology. Tamron is well known for incorporating cutting edge features and into its lenses and making them highly appealing to both amateur and professional photographers. And some of these features specifically is something called vibration compensation, or VC for short. So take, for example, this lens right here. This is This is the Tamron 50 to 400 f4.5 to 6.3 DI3 VC VXD. I will explain what all of those words mean, but for now let's focus on the first thing, VC, which stands for vibration compensation, which is Tamron's version of a lens stabilizing platform. Now, by that I mean when you take Tamron's built-in stabilization system, you need to keep in mind that it helps reduce camera shake, especially useful when shooting in low light or with long focal lengths. This allows photographers to shoot at slower shutter speeds without introducing blur caused by hand movement. It's especially beneficial for handheld shots in telephoto lenses or when shooting at slow shutter speed. Yes. Tamron 70 to 300. For Canon, Nikon, or Sony, So, that's it. So for the person asking about the time on 70 to 300, let's say just load up. Yes. So to answer the question to the individual that asked, Louis, what is the name of the guy? Zilas. So to answer your question, Zilas, the Tamron 70 to 300 4.5 to 6.3 lens for Sony E-mount cost 55,999 shillings. That's basically 56K for a 70 to 300 millimeter lens. So back to Tamron's vibration compensation. So you'll notice on a lot of modern Tamron lenses, this is the 50 to 400, all of them have VC written on them. And when you see VC written on a Tamron lens, that means it's using Tamron's built-in stabilization system that helps reduce camera shake, especially when shooting in low light conditions or with long focal lengths. So So this allows photographers and videographers to shoot at lower shutter speeds without introducing blur caused by hand movement, and it's especially beneficial for handheld shots in telephoto lenses. Next up is something called ultrasonic silent drive, or USD for short. Now, the 70 to 200 that we have on the table has USD on it. The 150 to 500 also has USD on it. And this one of my favorite lenses, the Tamron 50 to 400, also has the USD in it. That is the ultrasonic silent drive. Yes, please. Exactly. So, if zealous, if you're interested in getting the lens, by all means, come by Cameras Africa. We are here to help. Come through. In fact, come through and use the code Tamron, and I promise you, I will give you a special discount on me. Next up, we have the ultrasonic silent drive. Now, this is a feature that is in some Tamron lenses, and its entire purpose is that this is Tamron's version of ultrasonic autofocus, which allows for fast, quiet, and accurate focusing. And this is particularly helpful when shooting video or when you need to capture fast moving subjects. The quiet operation also ensures that the autofocus adjustments won't be picked up by microphones when recording. So, also another huge point and a huge factor to opt for a Tamron lens over a first party lens. Take for example this one right here. This is the 100 to 400 millimeter f4.5 to 6.3 DIVC USD. So as we've learned before, the VC for Tamron stands for vibration compensation, and the USD stands for ultrasonic silent drive. The ultrasonic silent drive is meant to allow you to have quiet operation and also ensure autofocus adjustments are not heard when you're using your camera, and it won't be picked up by microphones when you're recording. Next up, we have the E-band coating. Now, for those of you that are wondering, when it comes to sharpness, when it comes to clarity, the front-facing lens element, this guy right here, the glass itself on the front has something called E-band coating. So this innovative coating technology minimizes reflections, reducing flare and ghosting caused by stray light entering the lens. It's designed to improve contrast and produce clearer, more vibrant images, especially when shooting in challenging lighting conditions such as with backlighting. So, what does this mean? Basically, when you buy a Tamron lens, you're more or less buying a lens that already has a UV filter built into the lens coating itself. Meaning that if you're a photographer or a videographer and you want to be able to shoot in direct sunlight or in tricky shooting or lighting situations, the E-band coating on Tamron lenses actually allows you to improve contrast, produce clearer, more vibrant images, and it also minimizes reflections and reduces flare and ghosting caused by stray lights. Next up, we have, of course, why Tamron has such a wide range of lenses. Okay, so another huge point on why Tamron lenses stand out is because Tamron lenses have a wide range of lenses. This innovative coating technology minimizes reflections, reducing flare and ghosting caused by stray light entering the lens. And when it comes to Tamron, their broad selection of lenses makes them highly versatile, whether they're a landscape, portrait, wildlife, or macro photography. Tamron has a lens for anybody and everything that you can think of shooting. Take, for example, this one right here. This is the Tamron 50, 50 to 400 millimeter lens. One lens to cover you from portrait to telephoto all the way to super telephoto all in one lens. So if you're a wildlife photographer, if you're a photographer, professional photographer, if you're a professional videographer, which other lens do you need? And I say this knowing that if you're like, let's say for example, a person that likes to do a lot of run and gun shooting and you don't want the hassle of having a million and one lenses, then that's where Tamron comes in. They have such a wide range of lenses and focal lengths that fit any and every shoot situation. So, let's say you're a full frame, let's say you're a photographer, videographer that does weddings, events, landscapes, wildlife, architecture. You need a lot of lenses, right? That's not the case. Because with Tamron, you can get a Tamron 35 to 150 millimeter lens with an aperture of f2 to 2.8. If you ask me, as a photographer or as a videographer or as a filmmaker, having one lens that covers you from wide angle, portrait, telephoto, zoom, and super telephoto is an absolute game changer. So, if you're looking to get a lens or if you're looking to invest in a lens that makes your life a whole lot easier, consider getting either the 35 to 150, the 50 to 400, or even the 100 to 400. And that is where Tamron's wide range of lenses comes in. There is a lens for everyone and anyone that needs a lens. They have prime lenses such as the 35mm f2.8, the 20mm f2.8 for wide angle cameras, sorry, for prime lenses. They have zoom lenses such as the 35 to 150, the 100 to 400, or the 24 to 70. They have wide angle telephoto and macro lenses, and they have lenses for both full frame and APS-C sensor cameras. So to matter your genre, landscape, portrait, or wildlife, Tamron provides options that cater to different creative needs. Next up is sharpness and image quality. So with Tamron lenses, they are known for their exceptional optical performance, especially offering sharpness, contrast, and color rendition that rivals the more expensive brands. Their high-end lenses, especially in the SP super performance range, are designed to offer professional grade image quality even at wide apertures. So as you can see here on the table in me, take for example the 35 to 150. This is an SP super performance lens. The 100 to 400 is an SP, another super performance lens. Basically the G master of Tamron lenses. Next up, we have the SP series. So the SP series of Tamron lenses is Tamron's flagship lineup. So these are the ones that are designed for photographers who demand premium performance, and these lenses offer incorporate the best optics, the best materials, and coatings to deliver superior sharpness, less traumatic aberration, minimal distortion, and excellent contrast. And if you want a good example of that lens, you have this right here, which is the Tamron 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8 lens. This is one of Tamron's SP Super Performance series lenses, and it offers the best sharpness optics, materials, and coatings to deliver superior sharpness, less chromatic aberration, and minimal distortion, as well as excellent contrast. Next up is, of course, build quality. So whether you buy a 35mm 100 to 400, 35 to 150, or a 50 to 400, you will notice that whichever lens you buy, you're not getting plastic. You're getting an aluminum machined lens that is designed to be durable and long lasting no matter what abuse you put it through. I'm sure you guys have already seen the pictures from the WRC that happened last week, and you saw how guys were coated with dust. If you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, and you are there, or if you're a photographer or a videographer and you'd like to do or you'd like to capture the next rally, Tamron is the way to go because their build quality ensures that no matter how rugged the shooting situation is, a Tamron lens will always live up to any and all abuse that you can throw at it. And because it's cheaper than the first party lenses, honestly, that pinch of repairing a lens or of replacing a lens isn't as bad as if it was a first party lens. Next up, we have, of course, weather sealing. Now, for most, if not all, Tamron lenses, they will come with a nice rubber gasket right along the edge of their mounting system. Now, this is called weather sealing, and it's not just at the back of Tamron lenses, but it is also within the lens itself, within the mechanisms itself that keep it all in one piece. And it's meant to be weather sealed so that whenever you're shooting in conditions that might have a lot of dust and moisture, it keeps your lens and the internal lens elements safe and sound no matter the situation. Basically, simply put, the weather sealing on Tamron lenses makes them really durable and really versatile for adverse shooting conditions. Next up is, of course, innovation. Of all the camera brands out there in the world, all of them follow a similar lens format, whether it's a 2875 or 24 to 70 or a 24 to 105. But Tamron writes its own book, it writes its own rules, and that's why you have a lens like this, a 35 to 150, wide angle to telephoto, or a 50 to 300, wide angle to telephoto as well. And that's where Tamron stands out. They don't limit themselves to what they think will, bring them most money financially. They look at it from the point of view of a photographer or a videographer. What do they need? How are they going to use the lenses? And which focal lengths do they use the most? And that's where lenses such as the Tamron 35 to 150 come from. One lens that can do it all, offer perfect focal lengths, perfect aperture, durability, and versatility all in one. And finally, is a simple thank you to each and every one of you viewers that were with us today. So, we have talked a lot about Tamron lenses, we talked about what makes them special, but I'd like to mention one specific feature about Tamron lenses that sets it above the rest. Now, this right here is something called the Tamron tab in console. Let me just open it up real quick so that you guys can check it out for yourselves. And here it is. This, my viewers, is something called the Tamron tab in console, and its entire job as a tapping console is to allow you, the end user, to connect your camera to the tapping console, connect to the tapping console via Type-C to your laptop, and adjust the internal mechanisms of the lens itself. What does that mean? That means that if you're a wildlife photographer and you feel like the autofocus isn't fast enough or isn't sharp enough, you can tap into your lens itself and tweak the fastness of those motors and the smoothness and the way the lens behaves, which is something that I don't think any first party manufacturer does. So when someone says, oh, Sony lenses are faster with autofocus, so what? I got a tapping console. I can literally go straight into my lens, change how I want its autofocus capabilities to be, and make it faster, sharper, smoother, depending on my needs as a photographer or a videographer. And that one factor is the key major point that sets Tamron lenses apart. The ability and the capability to give back to the end user, you, the end user, the ability to change and tweak the lenses according to your needs. So, with that being said, thank you for joining us for today's live stream. Thank you for the questions that you've asked. To the fellow that asked about the 70 to 300, by all means, come back, come as Africa, and I give you my word, I will give you the best price available within Nairobi. But with that being said, thank you for joining us, whether you were joining us on Instagram, TikTok, or on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for joining the live. And in case you have any other inquiries, by all means, come by the shop and come check out these items for yourself. My name was Victor Mutua. This is Cameras Africa, and I will see you next time. Peace.